Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a Xander Brand podcast. All thoughts, actions, opinions, and/or endorsements are those of the person or persons in this podcast. The Xander Brand launch week, because obviously this is a Xander Brand podcast, so it only makes sense for me to talk about the Xander Brand premiere week, mainly because I made it and I came up with the idea. The premiere week rally, it is going to be amazing. You guys are going to love it. Wednesday at 2 p.m., the Scream Brothers show will be back, guys. A new professional wrestling show called Super Independent, and it's going to be a really interesting show. A North Carolina boy was recently shot and killed. The day that this podcast comes out, school will be starting back up for me, and I'm not excited. I'm a little apprehensive. I am excited. I have 3 history classes this year, so yay. But I couldn't double up on either math or English, which I found very confusing. Recently in Sparta, North Carolina, there was actually an earthquake. I was asleep during it, but my mother said she felt it. Hello everybody, welcome to Full Force. As always, I am your host, Joseph Alexander Simpson, the 2040 presidential candidate, entrepreneur, video personality, streaming or streamer, podcaster, so on and so forth. Writer for All Elite Monthly, professional wrestler, professional wrestling commentator, and so much more. So I'm going to first start off today's episode by talking about the Xander Brand launch week, because obviously this is a Xander Brand podcast, so it only makes sense for me to talk about the Xander Brand premiere week, mainly because I made it and I came up with the idea. So obviously we're going to be beginning, we're going to have our first official full Xander Brand video that's not this show out on Sunday, August 23rd, at 12 p.m. We will begin things. Yes, so I'm really excited for it. We're going to begin things, as I said, Sunday at 12 p.m., August 23rd, with a premiere week rally. You can go to xanderbrand.ml/YT on that day, and you can check out the premiere week rally. It is going to be amazing. You guys are going to love it. And then Monday, obviously, as always, at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, the Xander Brand podcast, Full Force, which is what you guys are watching / listening to right now, will be coming out. You can go to xanderbrand.ml/fullforce to find all the places to listen to this podcast. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have a presentation it's called Satire Honey, which is Aiden DC and Logan Allred. Again, xanderbrand.ml/YT for that. And the Disagreement Brothers show will be happening Wednesday at 2 p.m. The Disagreement Brothers show will be back, guys. xanderbrand.ml/YT once again. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. You guys are going to be happy to see the Disagreement Brothers back. I know me and Daniel are glad to be back. And then Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have the debut of Opier Crippler's Super Independent. For those of you that don't know, Opier Crippler is actually myself. It's my professional wrestling character, and he's putting together a new professional wrestling show called Super Independent, and it's going to be a really interesting show. Again, xanderbrand.ml/YT to watch that on Thursday at 2 p.m. And then on Friday, we're going to be getting the Breakfast Bunch podcast hosted by Aiden DC and Logan Allred. And then we're going to get something. We were originally supposed to get the Alex O'Reilly report on Saturday at 2 p.m., but we aren't going to get that now because, unfortunately, due to production limits, we are no longer going to be planning on doing that show. But, by the way, I'd like to add, I didn't mention this before, the Breakfast Bunch podcast on Friday is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can go to xanderbrand.ml/breakfastbunch to find the places to listen to that. Like I said on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, the Alex O'Reilly report will not be happening, unfortunately. We may do something else. I don't think there's anything slotted at this time, but you never know. That's the only thing that I can really say is you never know what's going to happen here on Xander Brand. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere else where you get traditional podcasts, just the audio, you guys have got that information. I want to make sure I didn't just throw a video on to promote it in case you guys just listening didn't know. But unfortunately, my next topic is going to be really sad. A North Carolina boy was recently shot and killed. He was riding his bike. I believe. I don't want to guess on his age because I do not entirely remember his age. But unfortunately, he did pass away. And his murderer was convicted, and that's what needed to happen, and it happened. Again, very sad. Whenever I found out, it made me kind of tear up a little bit, and I got pretty sad. So I hope that things. Man, he was just a little boy. In all honesty, sometimes whenever you hear about children dying, you're thinking, I wish it could be me. Anytime I hear about any young child dying, it just pulls at my heartstrings. And obviously, Cannon Hinnant was not an exception to this, and I feel for his family. He was executed while riding his bike. I'm not going to make a political statement or anything. I'm not politicizing a child's death. Unlike some people, I don't have to make everything political. You know. Another thing that is happening is today, actually, the day that you guys are listening / watching this the day that this podcast comes out, school will be starting back up for me, and I'm not excited. I'm a little apprehensive. I mean, I am excited. I have 3 history classes this year, so yay! But I couldn't double up on either math or English, which I found very confusing. But at this point, I think next year I'm just going to do 2 classes in English and a math class, and that'll probably be it. And yeah, I'm really excited for this year because I think things are going to go by a lot smoother than they did, at the end of the year last year with everything happening. It is virtual. But I feel like this time around they had a little bit more planning time, and they know what they're doing now. Those tools are right there, and I feel like a lot of my classes, from what my teachers have emailed me, are just pretty much the same, in line with what they're wanting to do, and I'm really excited for it. So school, yay. What I hope doesn't happen is an earthquake. Recently in Sparta, North Carolina, there was actually an earthquake. I was asleep during it, but my mother said she felt it. Really interesting stuff. If you guys felt it, please let me know on social media. If you have videos of it, please let me know. I saw pictures from a food line in Sparta and a few other things going on, and I was like, whoa, this is a big deal, you know. Um, in North Carolina, having a earthquake that doesn't happen every day, but what seems to be happening every day is a lot of rain. Um, I'm not understanding this, but it's raining a lot here, and it's just rain, you know. Um, but I don't know, man. It's kind of it's not. I don't know. I don't know. It's starting to rain a lot, and I was actually getting ready to mow the yard. I think it was like 2 days I spent mowing the yard because the first day it was like raining incredibly bad, and I was like, oh no, because I was mowing, and then I was like, all right, I feel like sprinkling, so I need to rush, and then I was like, oh crap, I gotta run, and I have to run and get away from this situation because, um, like there it is. It was raining really heavy. It was starting to rain really heavily, so I'm like, okay, have to go. Um, you know. Well, some COVID related topics here. Number one being that AMC movie theaters. I think we're not good anymore. I gotta check. Okay, we're good. Number one being that AMC movie theaters are reopening for 15 cents a ticket. I believe they said about 100 locations. That is crazy. That is insane. Man. So, kind of COVID related, but obviously we as Americans are having to vote via mail because of COVID. Election day is on November 3rd. And if you can vote, please go vote because it is very, very important. Your voice actually matters. And as much as I've kind of looked and been like, your voice doesn't matter before, like now more than ever, we need change. Um, so every year you get these plugs from major people telling you to go vote, and I never really understood it. I was like, oh, it's just like a little trend they're doing, and it's a good trend because you need to go vote. um, I'm being serious with it. If you can vote, if you're old enough to vote, please go vote. If you will be old enough to vote in November but aren't yet, you can actually pre-register to vote. There's a little information about that online. You can just look up pre-register to vote and then your state, and you can pre-register to vote. Um, if you're going to be, well, yeah, that is if you're 17 now. So a lot of states allow you to pre-register to vote. So that is a very good thing. But yeah, go vote. But you're having to do it through the mail now. And right now, the U.S. Post Office is running out of funding. Running out of funding. They asked for some help during the stimulus package and were denied it. And unfortunately, a new postmaster general has been appointed by the President of the United States. And he has been making cost cutting measures. Mail is coming every 2 days for some people in some states. There's a situation where people feel like they know their ballots aren't going to get there in time. So a lot of people are saying like just vote a month, like have that ballot out a month to go, like get it that or drop it off at your election office because chef's kiss. That is the best thing to do. Um, Honestly, get it out there and vote. Voting is important. There's democracy. Well, a democratic republic like the U.S. is fantastic, and it's something that we need. And obviously, it's important to every single thing. You need to vote. Go out there and vote. Um, but yeah, so the U.S. Post Office is not doing good, guys. And that's why a lot of things are happening with the U.S. Post Office, and it's not good at all. And actually, a matter of fact, another option you actually have, not 100% sure how well this will go, but if you put two stamps on your ballot that you mail out, it will become first class mail. That is what the two stamps are for. So put two stamps on it. That would definitely not hurt. Um, but yeah, talking about COVID and reopening schools, Ron DeSantis, who is the governor of Florida, recently compared teachers going into schools just like federal agents going in to stop Al Qaeda. Yep, Ron DeSantis has compared 2020 to 9/11. And I'm not even making this up, guys. This is real. This is happening. I'm not exaggerating or misquoting. He literally did. And what sucks is people like that girl from I'm not sure where, but that girl, she shared a picture of a crowded hallway at her school, and she got suspended for it. Um, it I don't. She got suspended for breaking the code of conduct, and it's just insane because like there were so many people in the hallway of people that were and weren't wearing masks. Um, it was actually in Georgia. They did um, they did reverse her suspension. But it's just insane because if you look at it, you can see nobody's wearing masks. Everybody's, up against each other. Um, it was actually it was actually a girl by the name of um, Hannah Walters. She was 15 and she was at North Paulding. They shared photos and they didn't like it. Um, it's in Dallas, Georgia. So it's just incredibly insane how things like that can happen. It's like you get suspended for posting a picture of how your school's endangering everyone. Yes, I get there's ways to effectively go out and be like, hey, this is what's going on and I don't like it. Is that one of them? Yes. It very easily is one of the ways that you can go out there and address that. Yes, a girl could have went to her administration and been like, hey, I don't feel like this is safe. And then if they would have been like, nah, then that's whenever she could have posted it. But no, she did the right thing in posting it. She got suspended for it. Obviously, they felt like they messed up and they reversed the suspension because they made it political by having her suspended for it, which really sucks. But at least her suspension got overturned, and things on that department are looking better. Um, but what's not looking better is the fact that COVID cases are up 90% among children. This is incredibly bad. And it goes to show that not just old people are affected by this, not just people that are compromised are affected by this. People who are healthy and young are affected by COVID. And, despite what our president says, we we still, and I mean absolutely, we still have, that that's still a risk that is going on. And people are like, oh well, there's only going to be like 1% of people dying. Yeah, but come on, that's still a lot of people. It's not about how many percentage it is. It's about that's a lot of people. That is a ton of people. And to simply be like, oh, well, that's totally fine. No, it's not. Guys, come on. We can do better. We can do better. Well, the Movement for a People's Party is doing a People's Party convention at 3 p.m. Eastern, that is 4 p.m. Central, on August 30th on YouTube. So please go check that out if you haven't. It is a movement for a party that will totally change things. Um, and I personally believe in them. I've obviously endorsed them on social media. Um, and, I think that we should totally have a people's party instead of, corrupt, big, you know, these crappy two-party system. Like, no. Let's have a people's party. Let's have the Green Party. Let's put the libertarians in the discussion. And let's make this happen. Let's provide more choices for the people. Let's actually make choices that work. And that's why I'm actually pushing, and then I'm sure it'll come out very soon in some sort of release or post of some sort. But I'm actually pushing for the ranked choice voting, which basically the way that ranked choice voting works is that you choose the candidate that you want the most, the candidate that you want the least, and you fill it in between. So you have, let's say there's 8 people running, there's 8 different parties, 8 different representatives. Well, you can vote who you want the least likely to win is, who you want the most likely to win is. And see, the thing is, so they're basically going to say, all right, well, these people chose this person, these people chose this person, these people chose this person. They're going to take your first pick first, then they're going to eliminate out candidates who are who don't get enough votes. So, they'll start with the first one. Oh, well, if your first choice is knocked out, your vote is going to go to your second person. And if your second person is knocked out, third person, fourth person, so on and so forth. And that is amazing because that means that, if people are choosing lesser of two evils, let's say there's somebody that really wants Gary Johnson to win. Well, they can choose him as their first person, and they really don't. Let's say the 2016 election as an example. They really don't want Hillary Clinton to win, and they really don't want Trump to win. But they're thinking, well, maybe Hillary should take that second and last spot, because Trump's definitely going to violate people's human rights, right? And that would be the way that people would think. Or in the other terms, a lot of people that support Trump would be like, hey, Trump's my number one pick, but I think Gary Johnson's a nice, middleman that we can kind of put in the middle and really work with. So I think he should be my number 2. And the cool thing is that if a lot of the further left people and further right people have those people that they compromise on the middle with, we'll actually have somebody that people relatively like equally, and it'll make things work a lot better. And I believe there is a state, I'm not sure which one, but there is a state that has ranked choice voting already enacted. And it is a very, very good choice for our election system. Ranked choice voting definitely needs to happen. Obviously, you guys can continue to follow me in my election campaign at ElectJAS on all social media platforms. And, you can read more about ranked choice voting. You should read more about the things I'm going for. It's called RCV for short. And obviously, it's basically, picking, so on and so forth. Yeah, so that's what's great about it. I'm actually looking for. Okay, Iowa and Nevada used it for their caucuses, so that's awesome. I believe there was also a state, one of the states that start with an M, that did it as well that is doing it for the presidential election, which is going to be really interesting to see. But ranked choice voting is a great idea. Moving on to my next. Joe Biden has picked Kamala Harris as his vice presidential candidate, running on the ticket with him. I don't think it's a good choice. I feel like someone like Elizabeth Warren would have been a better pick. Maybe Sanders to get a more liberal, or to get a further left vote instead of the moderates. That's kind of where we sit with that. Is that I wasn't a good pick. It wasn't the best pick. It's still not a horrible pick, but not really good pick. Kamala was Kamala Harris is a good person, good intentions. I just don't know what's there as far as looking at the bigger picture of who would have been a better vice presidential candidate. There's a lot of people out there that really would have done it for me, but I can't vote yet, so not really something that I can really use to influence my choice. So, for those people that know me really well or have watched me for a while, I'm a big fan of Smosh and Smosh games. They recently announced that they're going to have a big announcement coming soon, and they even featured a new set on Smosh games. So I'm really excited to see what this is. You guys should check it out too whenever they put it out. It's going to be, I have a feeling like it's going to be really awesome, and it's going to be really fun. Another thing going on in the internet community, actually the business internet community, is that Epic Games is suing Apple after Apple took down Fortnite from their App Store. Apple claimed that Epic Games violated their terms by creating a payment system that does not run through the Apple Store, which sets a really bad precedent. And I guess we'll just have to see what happens with that. They made this video mocking Apple, and they, while mentioning Apple and being like, "Hey, they pulled us down from the store. This is ridiculous, and we are suing them." So I'm excited to see how this goes. I feel like there's gonna be a really important lawsuit that's gonna set a huge precedent in the United States. If that's where it's taking place, it probably will take place in the United States. So, we'll just have to see as far as that goes. And then we're gonna get into some wrestling talk here, because I am a wrestling buff. I am a wrestling fan. WWE has gone TV14. Their latest episode of WWE SmackDown featured a big thing that said TV14 at the top, while most cable programs did not show that rating. They continued to show the normal TV PG rating. Fox allegedly changed the rating of the show at the last minute because of the contents of the show, which have been very apparent in their more risky natures of these shows. And also, All Elite Wrestling has released 3 wrestlers, 2 of which are stuck in the United Kingdom at the time. Another, being Jimmy Havoc, had allegations during the Speaking Out movement. The 2 that were released, that are presently in the UK, are Bea Priestley and Sadie Gibbs. So I'm excited to see where they land and what they do next. And I'm also excited to try to see what AEW attempts to do with their women's division going further, because they have not had a lot of good luck. Neither has WWE in that sense as well. I think the only company that's really doing right by women right now is Impact Wrestling, which seems to be getting better week by week. With every aspect of their show, and I'm very excited to see what Impact does as well. So, yeah. All right, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to listen to this podcast and follow and subscribe everywhere where you listen to podcasts, and so on and so forth. Don't forget to follow me on social media, Joseph Sim 2003, JOSEPHSIM 2003. That's Twitter and Instagram. Go follow me there. TikTok as well. Don't forget to follow the Xander Brand at _Xander Brand everywhere on social media. Don't forget to follow Xander Brand Podcast, at XB Podcast everywhere. The Full Force Podcast is XB Full Force, and some of our other social medias are linked through those social media pages. Thank you guys for watching and listening to Full Force with Joseph Alexander Simpson. I have been Joseph Alexander Simpson. This time, hopefully, our video version actually worked. So if you aren't watching and you're listening, you should totally go watch on YouTube if you have the time to do so you can see my reactions, my facial reactions to the things I'm saying. If you are watching on YouTube, please also go listen on Spotify, because we get ad revenue through Spotify and all the other places that you get podcasts that aren't YouTube. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out the Xander Brand launch week starting next week on August 23rd. That is Sunday, August 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, beginning with the launch week rally. And you will also have Aiden Dunn and Logan Allred on a lot of the programming coming up as well. The Scream Brothers show returns on the Wednesday. It is going to be fantastic. It is going to be amazing. Please check those out. It would mean the world to me. Along with Opier Cripplers, Super Independent. That's going to be a very interesting and fun show. Thank you guys for watching this show. Don't forget to check out this show next week on Monday, part of Premiere Week. So thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next week.